Alright, this will hopefully be a quick one, and I'm mainly just trying to get y'all's opinion here. And I know comments on this are going to be really mixed, but what we've got here, this is my 1976 International Detroit Diesel Firetruck. This was built by Universal Foam. It had I think it's a 1,000-gallon chemical foam tank with no freshwater tank. You know, it relied on a hydrant or, you know, draw from somewhere for its fresh water. And that foam seems to be very corrosive. And so what's happened is the top of the tank rusted out, and the sides of the tank are in really sad shape and probably really thin. You can just see there's just holes all in this tank, and it leaked all down this side of the truck and has just made a mess of the back of this truck. I mean, it's not good, you know. So I'm never going to run foam in this thing, so, you know, we could try to repair this tank and replumb it for water, maybe. I don't know that we can patch it up, you know, weld it. It's very thin, even where it's not blown out. It's just, it rusted from the inside out. And it's really rough, and everywhere where this foam came in contact, it just rusted it out. And luckily it seems like the frame and everything has been saved, as the bottom of the tank is in good shape, and it leaked from the sides down, and the tank's wider than the sides of the truck. So luckily it saved all that, but pretty much everything else, like fender wells, all that, are shot. Bottoms of them are out, and there's not really much, just the middle of this thing is kind of holding it together. And I'll show you all the top. Top's gone. It looks like it's been patched previously, and when it rusted out again, inside of it is just gone. The supports are gone. This tank is just, it's shot. You know, it's top of it right there. And so I feel like, you know, once we start trying to patch this thing, it's not going to go well. Now, if we decided just to maybe like fiberglass the inside, that's, I guess, the most feasible way, because I really don't think you can make this thing watertight again without just completely rebuilding a tank for it. You can see on this side it's got holes in it as well. I don't know if you can see on camera right over there. There's a glare on the screen of the camera. I can't see what y'all are looking at, but there's holes on this side too. You just can't see it because the box. But both sides are shot, and there are maybe holes in the, well, this is the, no, I don't think this is the, I think this is over the, yeah, this is over the, that's not the back of the tank. This is over the back of the tank. So I don't know. I think it looks like it is, or maybe they welded it in over, and I don't know, but it's just very rough. So I'm conflicted on what to do, and we got the same issues going on here. Not as bad, but the fender wells are rusted out. All this stuff at the bottom rusted out. This over the storage over here is in decent shape, except for the bottom here, and that's from the foam and the batteries. It leaks. Tanks leak in between the tank side and the boxes. So just lots of issues. Show y'all up here, I guess. Here's the inside of the tank. You can see it's dry now, but the whole bottom of it is filled with rust. And you can see the supports, the structural supports are all rusted out. The center divider is rusted out. It's just, it's gone. And to be honest, even if you made it watertight, I think once, I don't know if it's rigid enough to support 1,000 gallons of water anymore. You know, I don't know. So that leaves us with some decisions on what we do. Do we just fiberglass it up and make it to where it looks okay? We could leave the plumbing as is, not ever hook water up to it or anything like that. Or I happened to be browsing Facebook Marketplace and I saw an M105 military trailer. And I'll put a picture of it right here. So that got me to thinking, what would this thing look like if we took this off? I mean, and we put, I don't think I'd buy one of those trailers. I don't think the dimensions would line up right and I'd end up modifying it. I think it would be easier just to make one from scratch that looked like a M105 trailer. Make a bed that looked like a M105 trailer. You know, fender wells and everything. The bed would, you know, be the height of the frame, and then we would have fenders coming up, or the bed would start right on top of the frame, and then it would only be as wide, I guess, as the tank, and then you would have the fender wells extend over. You could build some storage compartments in the front that would tie in to the fenders. You know, reuse some of these doors and the boxes and make them whatever shape to contour around the fender, and you know, end up with the storage on the front. I don't know if we put them on the back, but on the front of each side, you know, flip one of these over and run it on the other side. Kind of reuse some of that, but not anything up above. You know, fenders coming up to here. You know, use some 2-inch square tubing and kind of triangulate some angles here, or whatever, and then reuse these right on top of the fender on the sides of the bed. Have these mounted to where we could mount these two, one on each side. Now we would probably have to well, they're going to stick out a little bit, I guess. Or we have the bed, you know, come out to here, whatever. And or we could have them, they would be a little bit lower than this, so we could actually have them come out a little this way. I don't think they would be in the way of anything. And maybe remake these mounts, make this, I don't know. We could play with that, figure out how we want to do that on this side. If we did the same way, well, it's going to run into the ladder over here. So we couldn't do it over here unless we, yeah. We might just make the bed a little longer, or just have it stick out on each side of the bed. I mean, I don't know. We'd have to figure something out for those. But mount those on each side, and then we'd have a bed that we could put like 2 of those poly tanks in there. And I'll put a picture of those. They're like 275 gallons each, I think. I think that's the larger ones. They might have some that are even larger than that. I had thought about gutting this and putting poly tanks inside, but they're too tall. We're okay on the width, but they're too tall. And so you end up having to, it doesn't fit, you know. We would have to raise this up, and I kind of would like to put this thing in some parades, and, you know, if you raise this up this much, there's not much of a ledge unless you raised all of it up, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with people riding back in here in a parade because it'd be really high up and it's not much ledge. But if we did a bed, you know, people could ride in the back and it wouldn't be very tall. And then for using it here on the property, I could put 2 of those poly tanks in here and have, you know, over 500 gallons of water that it could carry in the back. And I could remove them when not needed. And we could just plumb them in, run them over, to this 2.5 inlet. We couldn't run full capacity, but you know, we would have the ability to run some water. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, and I think that would be a lot less work, and it would be more usable for me, you know, using it around here and having a bed in the back. You know, you throw stuff in the back, and I just think it would make it a more useful truck. And I know it would be taking it away from what it originally was, but to me this fire truck's a little different than your average fire truck, because this was ordered by a chemical company. It was ordered, you know, kind of bare bones. It is not, you know, your ornate fire truck that you normally see, you know, that a city has, or, you know, a county, whatever. It never was that. It was ordered as a utilitarian fire truck. You know, it doesn't have a lot of chrome, and I mean, it does have some, but it, you know, if you look at this versus a just a regular fire truck of this general era that was, you know, for a city or whatever, they are a lot more ornate. You know, lots of curves and, you know, chrome, and I mean, they just look great. This one, it's not the prettiest fire truck, so I don't think I'm really taking away from what it is. I know I'm changing what it was, but I don't think it's, I don't know. I think it's acceptable. You know, I don't know. I know a lot of people are gonna hate this idea, but I think it, for me, I think that's the route I would like to go with it. I think that just makes it a more useful truck. So, kind of think that's what we're gonna do. I just got to think about it and make some decisions, but that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, and we'll see. Yeah, let me know what you think. If you're good at Photoshop, I'm not, but you know, carve the back of this truck off for me and stick one of those M105 beds on the back, and let's see what it looks like. I'm not, but I kind of have a picture in my head, and I think, you know, some sticks, 2x2 square tubing, and some sheet metal, and you know, we could whip up a bed for this thing pretty quick and easy. You know, I think I'd rather do that than, you know, trying to fix all this. I think I would have a lot less hours into it and have a more useful truck out of it, is kind of where I'm going. We're still on a lookout for a cab. If you've got a line on a cab, let me know. It seems like it's common for them to rust out right there. So if I'm going to go to the trouble of a cab swap, I want to find a good rust-free cab. So if you know of one that's kind of anywhere in Texas, maybe Louisiana, I could probably go to Louisiana, let me know. And you know, I'm interested. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and subscribe for more.